A baddie is a lot of things. But in my true definition of a baddie, a boss,
Okay, so a baddie to her is being a boss. Let's be honest here. What is a boss? A boss is supposed to be someone that's a leader. What is a leader? A leader is someone that is the authority over an individual or a group of people. Okay? Does that sound feminine to you, chat?
Nope.
Does that sound like a loving, nurturing female?
Nope.
Does that sound like someone that you want to oversee your children?
Nope.
But this is the backwards, society that we have now thanks to feminism.
a boss. This is as simple as that.
Okay, so a boss, which is an inherently masculine description.
Simple as that.
Yeah, like you running the show, you running it, you the boss. People respect you as the boss. People see you as the boss. People know you're the boss.
What's the biggest misconception of a baddie?
That all we do is fight. That's it.
Well, here's the thing. You are going to fight because by being a leader and by being a boss, that's going to lead to friction. It's going to lead to people telling you, challenging your authority. As a matter of fact, you get to be a boss, right? You become a boss or a leader by fighting to get there. Okay? You have to compete with people to become a boss, which is a masculine thing, right? You don't just become a boss by becoming a boss. You become a boss by outperforming other individuals. Now, here's the other thing that's very strange. If you guys notice here.
Understand what? What is a baddie?
So he asks, what is a baddie, right? And then she says,
I mean, a baddie is a lot of things. But in my true definition of a baddie, a boss.
okay. And remember, keep in mind, guys, that he's referring to a woman while he's asking this. He's obviously framing this from the context of a feminine perspective, a woman that's a baddie, right? And she says a boss. Let's go into a dream world real quick. So he asks her, what is a baddie? Obviously framing it from a feminine perspective. And she says, oh, a baddie is a boss. Now, I want you guys to kind of reverse the roles here real quick. And imagine a dream situation. Let's imagine Cam Newton is in the chair, and this girl, Natalie Nunn, is asking him the questions. And Natalie Nunn asks Cam Newton, what is a stud? And he responds, oh, a princess. Wait, what? I want you guys to really envision this shit because I want you guys to understand where we're at in 2026 and where we're going. You guys need to understand this shit, okay? Listen very clearly. Now the roles are reversed. This Natalie is interviewing Cam. She asks him, what is a stud? And he responds, a princess. What the do you think would happen? We look at him like, yo, get this nigga out of here. Right? Like, yo, give this nigga the yeet.
Yeet.
What? That is a stud? A princess? Now, more than likely, we wouldn't even let him finish the sentence. We would laugh him off the show. He would get cooked. He would get roasted. Rightfully so. Because being a stud and then juxtaposing that with a princess doesn't make sense at all. Women, for some odd reason, think it's appropriate to tell you that I'm a baddie, but I'm going to act like a man, and you got to accept that shit. And this is the frame that I have to explain this shit to you guys so you guys know that this is completely unacceptable. Any woman, right, that gives herself these masculine identifiers or descriptions or adjectives, whatever the you want to call it, okay? You need to think to yourself like, ill, no thank you. We're good off that. We're not interested in that. The problem is that we don't hold women accountable for saying stupid shit like this, ever. We never do. We never do. We let them get away with saying dumb shit like, I'm a bad, who you talking to, nigga? We let women get away with behaving like men, and we never say anything to them after. And it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. We need to be able to call out the bro. So when this dumb chick, Natalie Nunn, is over here saying, I'm a baddie, and then he asks, tell me what a baddie is. And then she goes ahead to describe a bunch of masculine tendencies and traits. Like, we can't accept that shit. We need to say, this is disgusting. What the is wrong with you? Because I'll tell you this, with that same scenario I just gave, spin it back. If she asked him, what is a stud? Or what is a man? And he said, a princess, we'd be laughing that nigga out the ooza. We laughed that nigga off of YouTube. The women would condemn him. They would roast him. Because there's parameters. There's roles that men are supposed to hold to. okay? Men are supposed to behave a certain way. And if they don't behave a certain way, let's say they act a little sussy, they act a little flamboyant, a little zesty, what happens? They get roasted. Rightfully so. When men behave like women, they get cooked. They get roasted. They call them emotional, zesty, whatever, right? But when women act like dudes, nobody says shit. We need to get back to shaming women for poor behavior. Because you don't shame women for poor behavior, they do the dumb shit that they're doing, like you guys are seeing right now. The fact that this woman has the gall to sit there on a large-scale podcast and say a baddie is a boss tells you how backwards our society is. And then niggas wonder why so many women are just not marriage material or relationship material. This is why. This entitled, bratty, masculine, rambunctious, rude, petulant attitude is considered acceptable by mainstream society. And not only is it considered acceptable, it's not condemned whatsoever or shamed. One thing that feminism has done a fantastic job of doing, and I talk about this quite a bit, but I gotta say this again for you stupid niggas, so you guys remember this shit. The purpose of feminism, guys, wasn't to make women equal, okay? That's like the end goal. But that's not what they actually did. Let me explain what they actually did. What feminism really did was eliminate shame, okay? That's what feminism really did. It eliminated shame because women's kryptonite, the female kryptonite, is shame. Why is shame the female kryptonite? The female kryptonite being shame is because of this. Women don't have the ability to physically defend themselves. Do you understand that? Okay? I don't care what anybody says. I box. I train. I go to the gym. Shut the f up. A 10-year-old boy can probably beat you up. Not even kidding around. A boy that's hitting puberty can beat up 90% of women. Okay? 13-year-old boy will beat Mike Tyson on these. Bong! All over the place. Women can't fight. They got no hands. Okay? If you don't believe me, next time you see your sister or your mom or your aunt, throw a football at them. Hey, think twice. Whoop. Or think fast. Whoop. Throw a baseball. Hey, catch. Whoop. You know what's going to happen? Oh, God. Got no coordination. They got no athleticism, okay, at all. At all. They're inferior. Sorry, it is what it is. Physically, they just don't have the same capability to assess spatial differentiations. They just can't. This is why men are builders, etc. So going back to the shame thing, the reason why shame is so powerful with women is because if you shame someone, they're threatened to be removed from what? The herd, the group, okay? Women are communitarian by nature. By being communitarian by nature, that means that they need the community to survive. They're not like men, okay? They cannot stand up for their belief system via violence. Men do that. This is why every single revolution was led by men. So shaming a man doesn't have the same prowess and power as shaming a woman, okay? Because when you shame a woman, the threat of her being removed from the community is damn near a death sentence for her. So what feminism really did was remove shame. You don't want to be a mom, we're not going to shame you for that anymore. You want to enter the workforce, we're not going to shame you for that anymore. You want to be we're not going to shame you for that anymore. That's what feminism really is. It is the removal of shame from conventionally unflattering behaviors and characteristics of women. Okay? And this is why feminists and progressives and all these other don't like to debate me, because I will destroy anybody on this topic. Okay? No one has talked to more women, understands how they think better than I do. That is what feminism is. The end goal was to make them equal, but to get to that end goal of making them equal, we needed to remove shame. Shame is the most powerful tool against women. It's why religion used it. It's why society used it. It's why families used it, cultures used it, etc. But when you remove the shame, what the is left? Dumb like this, bro. That have the nerve to sit there with their alcoholic drink with a pound of makeup on their face, 41 years old, talking like this. Disgusting. Disgusting. Absolutely ridiculous. But this is what happens when you remove shame from society. When you remove shame from society and remove it from women especially, this is how they behave.